What on earth is going on? In just a few days, the world is expected to witness the return of Jesus Christ. A prophecy spreading like wildfire on Reddit, TikTok, and Christian communities predicts that September 23-24, 2025 will mark the moment of the rapture, the resurrection, when Christ returns to save and judge. But is this truly a sign of the end times, or merely a baseless rumor amplified by social media? Let's explore the origins, biblical foundation, and meaning of this controversial prophecy to find an answer. September 23, 24, 2025 is rumored to be the moment when the world will witness a supernatural event, the return of Jesus Christ, or, as some whisper, the real end of the world. This prophecy does not stem from ancient texts or sermons in church, but from the darker corners of the internet, Reddit, TikTok, and X, where mysterious signs, chilling predictions, and strange phenomena are keeping millions awake at night. Could this be a warning from a supernatural force? It all began with a Reddit post in mid-August 2025 in an anonymous subreddit called r/conspiracy. A user calling themselves Star Watcher 77 published a lengthy post titled September 23, 2025, the day the stars warn us. The post listed a series of strange signs, a rare sequence of solar eclipses, an alignment of planets identical to a description in the Book of Revelation, and a so-called curse that reportedly appeared in the dreams of dozens of people across the world. The post quickly gained thousands of upvotes, with comments ranging from "I saw a falling star last night" to "This is the final sign." Within just a few days, the story of September 23 had spread to TikTok, where videos with the hashtag September 23 prophecy reached millions of views, from clips analyzing constellations to eerie accounts of prophetic dreams. On X, formerly Twitter, the account at Cosmic Signtwo 1025 posted a long thread describing how September 23, 2025 aligns with a 7-year cosmic cycle that began with an astronomical event in 2017, when the constellation Virgo appeared as the woman clothed with the sun, just as described in the Bible. That thread, filled with star charts, cryptic numbers, and eclipse images, was retweeted more than 15 times in just 72 hours. Posts on X have continued to pour in about the end of the world, along with haunting warnings, "Be prepared, for the sky is speaking." What makes this prophecy even more terrifying is the appearance of a mysterious figure, a self-proclaimed pastor from South Africa, known as the Seer. In a YouTube video posted on September 3, 2025, he claimed to have received a vision in a dream, where a voice declared, "On September 23, the gate will open." The video, filmed in a dark room, lit only by flickering candles, has garnered over 7 million views. The seer not only referred to the Bible, but also described strange signs: migratory birds, changing direction abnormally, a series of small earthquakes in the Middle East, and a red halo appearing in the South African sky in early September. Though unverified, these details have led many to believe that this is not merely a prophecy, but a curse from the supernatural realm. The Mormon community has also contributed to the growing intensity of the story. Some members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints link September 23, 2025 with Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish Feast of Trumpets, a time believed to be when the heavens will tremble. They cite ancient records of Joseph Smith, the founder of Mormonism, regarding the last days and heavenly signs. Some even recount bizarre dreams they consider omens, such as visions of a falling star or a mysterious voice echoing in the night. The year 2025 itself has been filled with turmoil: historic floods in Asia, relentless wildfires in Australia, and geopolitical conflicts pushing the world to the brink. Against this backdrop, people are more inclined to seek meaning in unusual events. A predicted solar storm in September 2025, rare astronomical phenomena, and even cryptic statements made by world leaders at the United Nations have all been interpreted as signs. A Reddit post described it this way: "The sky is warning us, but do we have the courage to listen?" History, too, is full of similar waves of superstition. In 2012, the Mayan prophecy sent millions into panic. In 2000, the Y2K scare convinced many that computers would trigger the end of the world. The astronomical event of September 23, 2017, featuring the woman clothed with the sun from Revelation 12, was another such phenomenon. Many now believe 2025 represents the culmination of that 7-year cycle, when the stars and ancient curses will converge. One theological hypothesis raised in this context is whether God might be sending hidden messages through natural phenomena and dreams, or whether this is merely the universe playing tricks on us. Believers in the prophecy argue that God is using signs, eclipses, falling stars, and strange dreams to warn humanity of a looming supernatural event. They view September 23, 2025 as a cosmic gateway where God will appear to alter the destiny of humankind. Some even believe that the seer's visions and the Mormon's dreams serve as proof of an active supernatural force at work. Either way, this hypothesis raises a chilling question. Is the universe trying to say something, or are we simply trapped in the delirium of our own minds? To better understand, we must look at how social media has amplified the phenomenon. Reddit, with subreddits like r, End Times, and r, Prophecy, has become a hub of discussion, where users share screenshots from star tracking apps like Stellarium to demonstrate planetary alignments. TikTok, with its algorithm pushing viral content, has turned 15-second clips into widespread warnings, often layered with eerie horror movie soundtracks. On X, Christian influencers, such as at Bible Prophet U1025, have hosted live streams, drawing thousands of viewers to analyze each supposed sign. The fusion of technology and religious belief has created an information storm, where truth and fiction blur beyond recognition. Moreover, the role of these platforms goes beyond mere dissemination. They foster interaction, fueling an echo chamber effect in which people only hear affirming voices, reinforcing their beliefs. A recent Harvard University study shows that religious rumors spread twice as fast as regular news on social media, thanks to their emotional weight and fear factor. In this case, the prophecy of September 23 has tapped into global anxieties following COVID-19 and climate change, transforming it into a cultural phenomenon. Matthew 24, 36, 44. The curse of the secret day and hour. One of the most frequently cited Bible passages in this wave of prophecy is Matthew 24, 36, 44, where Jesus is depicted as an unexpected figure arriving like a thief in the night. The passage opens with a haunting warning, but about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. It paints the image of a chaotic world filled with wars, natural disasters, and signs in the heavens, all leading up to a sudden moment when the Son of Man will come on the clouds of heaven with great power and glory. Believers in the prophecy argue that while no one knows the exact hour, the signs are converging so clearly that September 23 has become the most likely date. In modern interpretation, this passage is seen as a double-edged curse, a warning against speculation, but also a hint that those who are awakened will recognize the signs. On Reddit and X, many have shared dreams of a great darkness engulfing the earth at this very time, linking it to the image of the thief in the night. A recent post on X claimed, "Matthew 24 is coming alive. The skies will turn dark, and only those prepared will be taken away." Critics point out that this passage explicitly forbids setting a specific date. Yet for the faithful, it serves as an invitation. The universe is sending signals, and September 23 is seen as the culmination of those signs. To dig deeper, we must consider the historical context of this passage. Matthew 24 is part of the Olivet Discourse, where Jesus responds to his disciples' questions about the signs of the end times and his return. Verses 36-44 emphasize the element of surprise, comparing it to the days of Noah, when people were eating, drinking, marrying, and carrying on as usual until the flood came. The implication is that everyday life will continue, and the rapture will strike without warning. In the 2025 prophecy, supporters argue that signs such as wars, Ukraine, Gaza, natural disasters, floods, wildfires, and disease outbreaks, COVID variants, are precisely the beginning of birth pains mentioned earlier Matthew 24:8. They view September 23 as the moment when the thief appears, especially since it coincides with Rosh Hashanah, when the trumpet is blown, a symbol of judgment. One YouTube commentator explained, "God doesn't reveal the exact day or hour, but he gives us signs so that we can prepare." In 2025, everything converges. However, mainstream theologians from both evangelical and Catholic traditions warn that setting a specific date violates Christ's very words. They cite the historical failures of similar prophecies, such as Harold Camping in 2011 or the Jehovah's Witnesses in 1914. Yet on social media, this passage has been repurposed as a marketing tool for fear, with memes and video montages combining real disaster footage with Bible quotes. One Reddit thread with over 10 comments discussed ways to stay awake to avoid being left behind. Furthermore, the passage ties into deeper spiritual themes: salvation and judgment. Two men will be in the field, one will be taken and the other left. Matthew 24:40 is interpreted as the rapture, where believers are caught up to heaven while the others face the Great Tribulation. In the 2025 context, many wonder whether dreams and visions might be personal calls from God. One story spreading on TikTok tells of a woman in the U.S. who dreamed of the sky opening on September 23 and converted immediately afterward. To refine understanding, comparisons with different Bible translations are often made. The NIV emphasizes, "No one knows," while the KJV uses, "knoweth no man," reinforcing the secrecy. Scholars like N.T. Wright argue that this passage is not solely about the end times, but also about the destruction of Jerusalem in AD 70. Still, modern interpretations tend to favor the eschatological lens, the last days. On X, heated debates erupt between pre-trib rapture before the tribulation and post-trib believers, with September 23 often used as a case study. Ultimately, Matthew 24:36-44 is not merely a warning, but also a call to righteous living. Therefore, keep watch, because you do not know on what day your Lord will come. 24:42 encourages spiritual readiness, not panic. Amid the 2025 frenzy, it serves as a reminder that true faith does not depend on dates, but on one's relationship with God. Whether or not the prophecy comes true, this passage remains a foundation for both hope and vigilance. Revelation 12 and related Bible passages. Perhaps no Bible chapter has stirred stronger waves of superstition than Revelation 12, with its image of a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet and a crown of 12 stars on her head. This woman is pregnant, crying out in labor pains, while a great red dragon, symbolizing Satan, waits to devour the child. This passage has often been directly linked to astronomical events, turning it into a prophecy written in the heavens. The pivotal moment came on September 23, 2017, when the constellation Virgo aligned precisely with the sun, the moon, and several planets, forming an image of the woman as described in Scripture. Many called this the Revelation 12 sign, a warning of the beginning of the end times. Now, with the 2025 prophecy, believers have expanded this into a 7-year cycle, a symbolic biblical number representing completion. They argue that 7 years after 2017 would point to 2024, but with leap years or adjustments in the Jewish calendar, the cycle falls on September 23, 2025. A YouTube video explained, "The dragon awoke in 2017. In 2025 it will attack, and the rapture will rescue the worthy." On X, viral posts circulate with star charts captioned, "Virgo is returning, this time to bring the end." This interpretation is not merely astronomy, but a cosmic curse, in which the stars align to announce Christ's return. Believers claim that the upcoming solar eclipse or unusual sky phenomena in 2025 will be the child born, a symbol of salvation, before the demonic dragon devours the world. Beyond this main passage, the prophecy is reinforced by Daniel 9:27, a chapter filled with cryptic numbers about the 70 weeks, a prophetic timeline leading to both destruction and deliverance. Verse 27 describes a ruler who will confirm a covenant for 7 years but will break it halfway through, abolishing sacrifice and setting up an abomination in the holy place. Enthusiasts link this to 2025 geopolitical events, such as Middle East peace deals or the rebuilding of the Third Temple in Jerusalem, interpreting them as signs of the final covenant. One Facebook post declared, "Daniel 9:24 points directly to 2025. This is the year of destruction, and the rapture is the way out." Similarly, Luke 21:25-28 paints a terrifying picture of signs in the sun, moon, and stars. "And on the earth, nations will be in anguish, perplexed at the roaring and tossing of the sea." It ends with a promise. "When these things begin to take place, stand up and lift up your heads, because your redemption is drawing near." This passage is interpreted as a roadmap of the end-time signs, wars, plagues, and disasters, all of which appear to be unfolding in 2025. On Reddit, one thread declared, "Luke 21 is coming alive with floods and wars. The sky will explode on September 23. For believers, this offers a double-edged prophecy: fear for the unprepared, but supernatural hope for the chosen. To sharpen the analysis, we must consider Revelation's symbolic context. The book of Revelation is apocalyptic literature, filled with imagery rooted in Jewish tradition. The woman may represent Israel or the church, the child is Christ, and the dragon is Satan. Astronomical interpretations, while compelling, are rejected by many scholars, since the Bible is not an astrological text. Nevertheless, the 2017 event truly occurred, with the sun in Virgo, the moon at her feet, and Jupiter, the king planet, positioned in the womb, making it a rare astronomical phenomenon. In the 2025 prophecy, the 7-year cycle is drawn from Daniel 9, where the 70 weeks, 490 years, are divided into stages, with the final week representing the Great Tribulation. Supporters calculate the period from 2017 to 2024, 2025 as the time of Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 37. They connect this with events such as the Abraham Accords in 2020, viewing them as part of the 7-year covenant. On TikTok, videos use astronomy software to show that the September 2025 eclipse will coincide with Virgo, reinforcing the sign. Luke 21, parallel to Matthew 24, emphasizes cosmic signs, such as eclipses and star storms. In 2025, a strong solar storm, predicted by NASA, is regarded by some as the roaring of the sea, possibly referring to electromagnetic waves. Online communities are using AI to simulate these events, creating viral content. Nevertheless, scientists, including those from NASA, dismiss any supernatural connection, viewing it instead as coincidence. The Jewish calendar and global events. Followers of the prophecy do not stop at Scripture. They weave it into a complex web of superstition, combining the Jewish calendar and world events as if they were fragments of an ancient puzzle. September 23, 2025 falls exactly on Rosh Hashanah, the Feast of Trumpets, beginning at sundown on September 22 and lasting until September 24. This festival is regarded as the Day of Judgment in Jewish tradition. When the shofar is blown to awaken souls, many believe this trumpet blast will be the signal for the rapture, as described in 1 Thessalonians 4:16. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet call of God. Moreover, global events are interpreted as end-time signs from Luke and Matthew. The lingering effects of COVID, escalating wars in Ukraine and the Middle East, and climate change fueling floods and wildfires, all seen as the roaring and tossing of the sea. On X, one user wrote, "War, disease, and now an eclipse, all converging on Rosh Hashanah, 2025. This is no coincidence. This is a biblical curse." Some even report collective dreams of darkness covering the earth, tied to the dragon of Revelation. To dig deeper, the Jewish calendar plays a crucial role, since the Bible was originally written with a lunar calendar in mind. Rosh Hashanah marks the Jewish New Year, symbolizing creation and judgment, with the 10 following days leading to Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. Believers argue that Jesus, being Jewish, will return during a Jewish festival, just as he died on Passover. They cite Leviticus 23, where the festivals are described as appointed times with God. In 2025, Rosh Hashanah coincides with a partial solar eclipse, interpreted as a divine sign. World events in 2025 fuel the fire. The escalating Israel-Palestine conflict, with speculation about building the Third Temple, linked to Daniel 9, peace agreements under Biden or Trump seen as a false covenant, and climate change discussions at the upcoming COP30, interpreted as the whole creation groaning, Romans 8:22. On Reddit, one thread analyzed USGS earthquake data, claiming an increase as proof of signs. However, critics from both science and theology call this cherry-picking, selectively fitting facts into a narrative. NASA has confirmed no extraordinary astronomical events on September 23, 2025, apart from routine solar storms. Psychologists explain the phenomenon through apophenia, they perceiving patterns in randomness, especially in times of crisis. Still, the prophecy has real-world impact. Some people are selling their possessions, building shelters, or intensifying prayer. Online communities are organizing watch parties for September 23, with live streams from Jerusalem. If nothing happens, disappointment may follow, much like after the 2012 Mayan prophecy. In conclusion, the September 23, 2025 prophecy is a fusion of religious belief, social media technology, and global anxiety. While it draws from biblical foundations, it also recalls Jesus' words, "Keep watch without setting dates." Perhaps the real message is to live meaningfully, not fearfully. Will the end truly come? Only time will tell. But genuine faith transcends dates.